do the people laugh when you say what you say? I said, yes. He said, do you get paid? I said, yes. He said, well, tell Bill I said have a Coke and a smile and shut the fuck up.
Oh, so I mean, the Eddie Murphy monologue that you seen Saturday where he took the shot at Bill. Look, they do these sketch comedy shows. They have different writers. I don't think that was Eddie's personal shot. I think someone on the writing team was like, "Yo, this might be good, Eddie. Throw that in there." And Eddie was like, "Fuck it," because you do the history. Bill and Eddie have this history where Bill and him would go back and forth. And it was funny, but I'm like, hold up, was Bill in the rec room in prison watching this shit? What was he doing up past his bedtime? But the pettiness for Bill with all of the shit he got going on, the last thing he should be worrying about is Eddie Murphy. You know what I mean? A lot of people have taken swipes at Bill, but when Eddie says something, he sends his publicist out to make a statement and calls him a Hollywood slave. I'm like, look, Eddie took like 10 years off. I don't think Eddie's a slave to Hollywood. Eddie left and came back on his own terms. Now, if you want to call Kevin Hart or some of these other cats like The Rock, people who don't turn down anything, you got it. But to call somebody a slave is a little bit far-fetched. Now, look, Bill Cosby, some people have it in their minds that he's innocent. It was just all based off NBC. There's some truth behind that, but I don't think the man basically admitted it when he went to trial that he was involved with Quaaludes and drugging up some females. 38, 40 women came. I don't think that number is accurate. I think some of them was just trying to get a come up. But, he admitted to some of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because he lived the perfect life in the public, was married, never cheated, at least we thought in public. Never seen him with a drink, never cursed, did a lot of family-friendly kid stuff. It's hard for people to accept the fact that the guy that they looked up to, who was like their TV dad, was doing shit like that. So a lot of people have a hard time believing it. I grew up on the Cosby reruns. I didn't grow up in that era. So I never really looked at Bill like that. But it is what it is. But to me, instead of being an OG and being a mentor to Eddie Murphy and the younger comics, all he did was criticize comics who use profanity. He tried to do it with Richard Pryor and Red Fox, but they were in his age group, so he couldn't sun them like that. They wasn't trying to hear that shit. But, Eddie took a lot of niggas under his wing and gave a lot of black comics opportunities. Like Arsenio Hall doesn't get that talk show if it's not for Eddie Murphy putting him in those movies. Anthony Anderson, Martin Lawrence, David Allen Greer, Chris Rock. I mean, Eddie put a lot of niggas on and put money in people's pockets. I can't say the same for Bill. Outside of a couple shows, Bill didn't take a lot of comics under his wing. If you didn't do the type of style of comedy that he did, that family-friendly shit, he just didn't approve of it, and he was also one of the biggest critics, black critics of hip hop in the early days, even up until whenever. I mean, this is back to the 80s, 90s when it was him, Dionne Warwick, Oprah, oh, y'all calling women bitches, y'all sagging y'all pants. And it's like, when you see all of the shit that he done did, like calling somebody a bitch compared to what you was doing behind closed doors, like, that's the pot calling the kettle black. You know what I'm saying? So the irony is just crazy. And Bill is out of his mind, And like I say, I don't think all of those women are real, but it is what it is. He's locked up. But I just think it was just unnecessary to take that shot at Eddie. But like I say, everyone doesn't do the same type of comedy. If everyone did the same family, no cursing, comedy, then the whole comedy genre would be bland. There's different types. You got insult comedy, you got family comedy, you got black comedy, white comedy. It's different types of comedy in that genre. And so why would you want everyone to even be like you? But if you wasn't like Bill wasn't, he respected you, but he wasn't fucking with you. And I never seen him take other black younger comedians under his wing like that. Eddie put way more people on. If you want to even, try to make a comparison. But, I don't think if Eddie really wanted to take a personal shot at Bill, he would have been did it. Because all of the press and interviews he's done this year, he could have been took a shot at Bill, but he hasn't. Like I said, I think one of those writers from SNL was like, hey, throw that in there. And, he was like, fuck it. It was funny. I didn't see anybody really making a big deal of it until now. So it's like, It is what it is. I just think Bill needs to focus on himself and making it out of jail. Because from what I'm hearing, he ain't doing too well in there. But God bless him. You know what I'm saying? He's like 85. I think they should just put him in a nursing home. I mean, why even put someone that old in prison? But yeah, the old man who's almost senile. Out of all of the people that have come at him, he decides to clap back through his publicist. And I'm like, out of all the shit you got going on, like, this is what you got on your mind? Like, I get it. When you in prison, you got a lot of time to think about shit. But I don't know. I think Eddie just, I guess it was the right person had to call Bill out for him to really say, oh, okay, let me take this shot. But I want to see what Eddie gonna say about this. Let me know what y'all think, man. I'm not capping for Eddie or, capping for Bill. I'm just calling it how I see it down the middle.